There's a system operating right now that looks like light, sounds like truth, feels like healing, but it isn't. It's not here to wake you up. It's here to trap you just close enough to truth that you never realize you're still in a cage. It's called the mimic system. The system doesn't rush. It studies divine law. It memorizes the codes. It observes the behavior of chosen ones and sacred beings, only to replicate it. Just like a parasite can't live without a host, the mimic system can't exist without something divine to copy. But here's the catch. It doesn't copy to uplift. It copies to invert. It takes real spiritual systems and reverse engineers them into distorted versions that still pull your energy, but never lead to liberation. What it looks like. New Age spiritual bypassing. A lot of what's called awakening right now isn't the real thing. It's mimic awakening. It feels good. It sounds enlightened, but it's a false light loop, and many don't know they're in it. You become obsessed with angel numbers, manifestation rituals, sage, crystals, sound bowls, love and light quotes, vibration talk, but never actually face the wounds, the inner child, the triggers, the ego. You quote shadow work, but never sit in your own darkness long enough to transmute it. You jump from one spiritual teacher to the next, but can't sit in silence with your own soul. You're in the spiritual gym, but never sweating. The mimic system thrives here. It promotes surface healing and aesthetic enlightenment. It tells you, stay positive, protect your peace. You're already divine, just affirm it. But never take accountability, detach from codependency, sit with your guilt, shame, rage. And without that shadow alchemy, you never activate true power. The New Age bypass isn't about healing. It's about feeling better without getting better. You become addicted to the idea of being awakened while still reacting the same way to life. You still avoid confrontation. You still gossip and judge. You still need constant validation. You still run when it gets hard. That's not awakening. That's spiritual performance. Real awakening will break you open, ruin your reputation, make you lonely, make you face every demon you were taught to avoid. It is not pretty. It is not aesthetic. It is sacred death. And if your awakening still looks cute, curated, and easy, you're probably still in the mimic stage. Government systems. On the surface, it looks like structure, safety, civilization. But beneath the seal and slogans is a mimic system, engineered to appear divine, while functioning in distortion. Governments claim to offer order, protection, justice, structure, unity. But ask yourself, why does it only work when we're afraid? Why must everything be enforced through control, punishment, or fear of lack? What it actually feeds on: manipulation through media, secrecy under the illusion of national security, endless dependency on systems you didn't create, fear-based laws dressed as public safety, taxation without true representation, healthcare built on profit, not healing. It gives just enough to keep you from revolting, but never enough to truly be free. Religion. Religion says it offers a path to God, moral guidance, community, salvation, peace of mind. But if the path requires fear, shame, and obedience to hierarchy, is it divine or just dressed up control? What it actually introduces: gatekeepers, priests, pastors, gurus who say you can't speak to God without them, guilt for being human, fear of hell, of questioning, of leaving, shame around sexuality, intuition, and personal power, rules that disconnect you from your own spirit, It convinces you that you are broken and only they can make you whole. True connection to source is direct, intimate, internal, beyond language or ritual. But the religious mimic system distorts this by selling God as a distant judge, replacing experience with belief, prioritizing image over embodiment, rewarding conformity, not consciousness. The control formula: 1. Instill fear of eternal punishment. 2. Create dependency on external salvation. 3. Suppress divine feminine energy, intuition, wisdom, inner knowing. 4. Reward obedience, not awakening. If you still feel afraid to question your faith, that's not God. That's the mimic talking. Toxic soulmates or false twins mimic divine partnerships, but pull you into emotional chaos disguised as spiritual growth. What it feels like: magnetic attraction, intense chemistry, instant familiarity, synchronicities that seem divine, deep conversations and mirrored wounds. You think, this must be my twin flame, but it's not growth, it's a loop. What they actually are: these connections mimic the divine partnership blueprint, but they trauma bond instead of evolve. Trigger your wounds without resolution. Excuse dysfunction as twin flame test. Keep you chasing highs instead of building depth. It's not alchemy, it's adrenaline. It's not expansion, it's enmeshment. What the mimic system gains: your energy, your attention, your allegiance, your delay. The mimic system doesn't need to defeat you. It just needs to distract you long enough that you never remember who you really are.